There. Let's see if this thing is on. How can I see if this thing is on? Let me pull up YouTube. Look at my own page. So I just want to see. How do I see that this is live? I just want to see if I'm live. Am I live? I guess I should make a starting soon screen or something, right? Be a professional. It looks okay. I think I'm live. Okay, because I see it now. Okay, I think I figured it out. I've been wanting to show some of the behind the scenes of how I do some of the editing. The problem is pretty much everything that I edit is I can't actually show to the public. So I have come up with a way that I think I can do this. You're going to be able to see the editing program I use, which is Adobe Premiere. I use Adobe Premiere, but you won't be able to see the video because I'm putting my webcam where the video would show. So for me, I can see it on the screen, but for you, I have this webcam thing hiding it. And then I will also, you'll only be able to hear me speaking. You will not be able to hear the audio from the video that I'm working on. And I think that's a way that I can get around issues and still show a little bit of how I edit things. So, okay, tonight I'm starting a new project. Part I guess what you don't see is the setup of me, of course, actually doing the filming of it. But then once I get home, I import all the footage into the computer. I have a template of folders set up that I do. I do a video folder, and there I put in these subfolders here. And these are the different cameras that I have, and these are named by the model of the camera that helps me keep track of them. Some of the cameras that I have does this thing where it splits the video files up into smaller, like if I shoot like a 1 hour long straight shot, it may put it into 10-minute segments files. So I wrote a custom program to combine those individual files into one large file. So this is the one large file. And I have one program that does it for that model camera. Then I have another program that does it for the other model camera. For the Osmo DJI, I have Action 4, and I found some issues with especially doing long videos where Premiere really struggles with playback of the long videos for some reason. And so what I've discovered is I have to convert those videos before I even start editing them. I have to convert those videos to a different format, and I use Apple ProRes format for that. So, and then the other cameras, they don't have those kinds of things. Like I have this one file that's, excuse me, one file that's maybe, it can be, I don't know, 2 hours or something, maybe. I forget what the maximum time it is per file, but it just makes another file, and that's not so bad to deal with, 1 or 2 files for a long show. But the smaller cameras that I have, they like to split them up into multiple files. So I get a lot of video, I get a lot of data. And this show was short. It was only a 1-night show. And so maybe an hour or so for the show, and it's 900 gig worth of video for this one show for 1 hour. I have audio folder as well. So I have an audio folder that the same kind of concept. I have different folders with the different devices that I use for recording. For each show, I don't use all the different devices that I have. This is just kind of a template that I have set up. But for this show, I use the Tascam DR60, and it puts it makes WAV files, and this WAV file is 1.5 gig for this WAV file, and it makes a normal kind of WAV file with there's 2 channels, a left and a right channel, and it makes another copy, a duplicate copy of that same left and right channel, but with the lower volume, and that's in case your main recording, in case there was a very loud moment that would clip the audio, you have the fallback of the lower volume recording there as well. So that particular device does that. And then I have some Zoom H2N model microphones where they record left and right facing one direction and left and right facing the opposite direction. So a whole 360 kind of thing. So for this show, I'll just use the DR60. I use the H2N1 and I think it was H2N5. Because there wasn't an orchestra, it was just soundtrack. Orchestras I use more, and different setups I use different things, but this was a pretty basic show. Images and submitted will be folders I will use later for the behind the scenes of the video, of that video that I'm going to do for them, not for this behind the scenes, but for people to submit images and videos and stuff about their behind the scenes stuff. That's why I put those kinds of things. So anyway, with audio, it's the same much audio I have. I have 8 gig worth of audio. So total, we have 916 gig worth of data so far for this about 1 hour show. So almost a terabyte. So what I do, I copy all the data into the computer, and then I basically drag and drop these folders into Adobe Premiere, is the program that I use, and Adobe Premiere will start to work on the files. It creates what does it create? What am I looking for? Video. It creates PEK files for each file that I import, and that's the waveform of that file. So these aren't from the camera; these are made from Premiere. So what I do is I import in the video files into the Premiere project. Another thing that I do though, I'm sorry, I'm not I might be hiding some things from my face, and I'm not meaning to, right now. I also make proxies, what's called proxies. So I have a fast solid state drive that stores my proxy files. Proxies is a duplicate copy of the video files, but a smaller resolution. So it's in an editing format, and it's just a lot easier, quicker for editing programs to work with. So I bring them all into Premiere. I then basically right click the whole video folder, and I go to proxy and I create proxies. And I just use the half resolution. I use QuickTime. I do put a proxy icon on it, and I set the location to be my SSD, a solid state drive. So I have a proxy folder here that has the proxy. These are the proxied versions of those same video files. And I also copy the audio folder that I had imported and put it also on the solid state drive, because this drive here is just a main storage drive. It is not a solid state drive, but it's just a gigantic spindle hard drive. How gigantic is this? It's about 20 terabyte for this one hard drive. And I do that, put the audio there because it's a faster drive, so it's gonna be faster to look at the waveforms for this. So this is where the PEK files are for the audio files, because I did not import them in from the my storage drive. So I've created the proxies, and then I've created the audio files. I'm trying to get you caught up on what I've done so far to get to this point. Maybe that's all. Okay, so one of the next things that I need to do then is to create what's called the multi-camera sequence. So you have all these cameras that are recorded, and Premiere has a feature that you can sync all these cameras up, so you can easily change the camera angle that you're going to use in the final video. So the way that I do that is I expand out. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. I expand out all the files. I want to expose the video files here. That's what I'm looking for. That one, I didn't use that camera, so I can actually just delete that folder because I don't need that. The way that I do a multi-camera, I right-click the file, I go to open the source monitor. Now, fortunately, you can't see this, but maybe I can. I guess I can show you this. Right? It's just the theater. But what I do before this show, this is me right here. What I do before this show is I walk up in front of the stage. Here I am. Just play this here. And I have this little program, an app on my phone that is a clapper app. It's the same thing that you see in like in movies where they have this the board and they do the clap thing. But it flashes a light, and it also makes a clapping sound. And the purpose of that is I'm going to find that point in all the cameras, and I'm going to mark that point, that exact moment that the light turns on from there to there, right? I'm going to mark that point right there. And I'm going to do that for each of the video files that I have. And that will make it realize that that's the sync point. I do it before the show. And And then I also do it after the show. Sometimes I do it during intermission too, because different cameras can have different timings. Eventually, especially over long videos, they might can get out of sync. One of the reasons why I do it at the end, you can't really see here so much, but kind of behind this guy, I have a camera sitting here, and I have a camera here as well facing the stage. So those two cameras are not going to see me doing this right here. If we look at this here, you can see this is the angle from one of those. The one on the left hand side, the other one is there. So they're not going to see me doing this. So what I figured out to get around that is at the end of the show, I will move all the cameras so that they can see that. Okay, this is after the show. And so I'll go and I'll move all the cameras so that they can see. So here I'm picking up the camera, and I'm going to move it to a location where I can see where I'm going to do that clapping thing. So I'm going to, it's up to you if you want to do it at the beginning or the end or the middle or multiple times. It doesn't, but you want to find a single point where you have this clapper thing or something like that. If you don't have a clapper, you have to find something else that happens on stage or on the video. A light going on or off, or somebody clapping, or somebody just putting their foot down. Some people use a cane or something, and I might use that when it hits the floor. I've used all sorts of different things, but hopefully in this case, let's see if we're gonna get lucky and the camera's picked up me doing that at the end. So this is the DJI after the show. So here I'm moving the camera. No, where it would be before this. Here. All right, so that's what I'm looking for at that point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start playing. And I'm going to find that point exactly that it lights up. Okay, so I'm going to use my arrow keys and I'm going to find that frame. And I'm going to hit O. This is an out point. Because this is going to be, this is at the end of the show. So this is going to be an out. If it was in the beginning of the show, then I would do it in, but this, right here we're doing an out. So I hit O, this is a marker there. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that for all the different cameras that we have. Okay, so this is the first camera. I'm going to have to find that spot. Okay, I'm about to do it here. Okay, so I found it right there. So let's get to that exact frame right there. I'm gonna hit O. That's my out. Okay. Go to the next one. Fast forwarding. Looking for me coming back around. Yeah, I may have missed it. I think I missed it. Let's get back. Sometimes I'm not in it. Okay, here we go. Shit, what happened? This before. I might not have captured it. Maybe. I think I didn't capture it with this one. It's been off the frame for this one. So that sucks. Okay, that's okay. We'll deal with it. So we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna go to the next one. What I might. No, let's not do it. Let's see. I might just throw one out there, but it's. Maybe I could. Trying to think what I want to do. Maybe I could just estimate where it would be. Let's do this. I'm gonna mark that right there. I just completely estimated where that was. Okay, I'm on the next camera. Okay, it's here, right there. So, source monitor. Okay, it's gonna be right here. Oh. Oh. Okay, this one's a little weird because this one has multiple. This one was a model that splits it up into multiple files. Um, so I'm gonna. I know that they're pretty much in order here, so I'm going to select to the um I'm going to select the last file here and open the source monitor. This is the one I've already done because it opened up right here. This is the one that we did originally, right? I guess. Is it? Okay. We're gonna go to the next one here. Okay. This last file was done after that, so it's not there. I need to go to the previous file. Let's open that one up. I might not see it here. I'm not seeing it there. So again, I'm just going to estimate. We're going to hit O there. I'm going to delete this other file, so I don't need that. I don't need that last file that's after that. This one. Source. Wait. Sorry. Open source monitor. Okay, I'm looking for the same thing. It's also going to be hidden, isn't it? Okay. Then we're going to do this. Here, this one's on the other side of the room. Maybe this will get that. That's just barely, huh? Okay. Oh. Okay. So I have marked an out point for all of these. Now I'm going to bring them into. I need to combine them into what's called a multi-camera timeline. And what it's going to do is lay all these tracks together and try to sync them up to our point that we set. So I'm going to select the video files that contain the out points that I made. I'm going to control, click, 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 click. Okay, here we're going to do the last one. Here we're going to do this last one. Click, click. Okay, I'm going to go back to the first one. I'm going to right click and create multi-camera source sequence. Okay, can you see? You can see. Okay, I'm going to synchronize point is the out points. See that? The only other thing that I usually change is the out points, and then I set it to stereo here. And because I'm going to end up with stereo tracks, left and right tracks. I don't understand why you need to do this. Like I hear that you should never do automatic. That's what I've read and seen on forums and stuff. So and Adobe Rep actually told me that I should never do automatic. He said I should always do this right here, stereo. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Okay, okay. It's one thing I missed to uncheck. Can I undo that? Please? No, it's not gonna let me undo that. Keep it just a second. What it did is it moved all these things to a folder. I did not want it to do that. That messes up my thinking. I want to see the file paths and the file names here in this list. Where are the files? Because because I want to move them back to where they're supposed to be, and put them all into this process clips thing, and I do not like that. And it's a checkbox. I did not see it to uncheck there. So 4K1 is going to go. Come on, go down there. 4K2. Okay, there. DJI. I don't know which one this one is. 4.2. That's annoying. That's really annoying. 4.2. This one goes to 4.1. This one goes to G9 Mark 2. Let me go in reverse order. G85 4. G85 3. G85 2. G85 1. G85. I can delete process clips. Okay, let's try this again. Right click, create AudioCam sequence. I do the out points. I do stereo. Okay, where is it? Okay, right here. Move. Sorry, you couldn't see that part. Move source clips to process clips. I do not want to do that. Okay. Now, okay. And then what it's done is it's made a new sequence here. And now we'll usually call it Cam timeline. And I can right click it and open in timeline. And here it is, what it's done is it's made all these tracks and it's put them all just like what we said, the out points end right here. So the all ended at exactly the same spot. There's still more video, but remember the out point is where we set that marker. We need to fine tune a few of these because we just estimated. So the next thing I'll do, I want to, it should be in order, right? I'm going to import in these missing files here. These 1, 2, 3. And drop them right here on there to line up with that. This one I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 there. Drop them right here. Okay. And I'm going to go to the end here. So I'm going to just extend them all out. Let's do this. Let's make a cut at one of them so I know that's where the ending was. Because what I want to do, what can I do? I got to figure out how to sync the ones that were we estimated. I could use no, I can't use the endpoints because they weren't always there. So one of the things that I did, and you didn't really see this a lot, was I did move my clapper to a different. I did move it, right? I pointed it one direction, and then I did it again, pointing the other direction. So I do have multiple angles. So the trick is to find that. So this one was one that was I could see. So that one's good. Now let's have that view. So this is that same exact time. This is what we estimated though. What trying to think what I should probably do. Maybe what I would do is use this. Here I can turn on and off individual tracks. This is my main camera. I'm going to find where I pointed it the other direction. I wonder if I could see it there. Just found that point where it turns on right there. Let's go back here. Okay. So on this, what I'm going to do is put a cut there, just so I have a place. I'm going to find on this track there where it occurs here. It occurs right here. I'm going to put a cut there. Now I'm going to drag this so that it lines up with that. That's my trick. Now, where's the next one? This one? Same thing. We're going to find that. No, that's not the same thing. Let's see. It is. Right? If I'm correct on this, it's like that. This one was good. This one was good. This one was good, I think. Where's the one that, this one, I wasn't sure on. Okay, this one might be complicated. Because it looks like I'm not in that frame either. Yeah, it is 10:30. And I haven't had my ice cream yet. That is a shame. You're privileged to get my ice cream time. I've got to find a spot. Why is this thing like doing that? I don't want that. Why is it doing that? This 7 dual pane thing is stressing me. Why is it doing that? I don't know. There has to be something that I've done wrong here. Not sure where my... I don't know. Okay, I need to find something that I can... I'm looking at myself walking. I'm looking to see if there's something that is like obvious that I could sync something to. Like I'm looking at her walking, like it has to be something that's very clear that something occurs. You know, the lights, you would think, but the problem is they fade in, and you wouldn't be able to do it, right? Or do they? maybe I could do if they do come right there. Maybe I could do oh no, was that the last camera I turned off? Maybe. Okay. This one. Does it capture that? It does not. It wasn't facing that way. I had already moved it and it wasn't facing that way. Okay, I'm gonna have to hide the screen because I gotta find the beginning. Okay. I do capture it in the beginning. Where are we at? This is one. So, yeah. I've got, okay, wait, I can do this. I can do this because I capture it right here. See that? So let's find that moment. Where it's different because I'm holding it that way. The other one I'm holding it up. So that's a little bit different. It's not there. Is it there? There. That's it. That's the key right there, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna find. Gosh. This point right here. I'm gonna put the clip there. Here, I'm gonna find this point. Okay, where should I put that marker? Did I put the marker on the wrong track? Maybe. It's okay. Do it again. There. Now, that should be close. Now, what I want to do now is find maybe something I can see on stage. Maybe I can show. I don't know. I'm looking. I don't know. I don't know. This may not be anything I can show maybe. What I'm gonna do is look through all the video now and see if it seems like they're all in sync. It's what I look for. I did this with the people on stage, but we're picking a scene. This guy's about to get up. This guy's walking. Find some things that you can point out, and then toggle the tracks on and off, and see if they all line up. Some of these you can't tell because we're just looking at audience here. There's the guy walking there. But I can see when I look at it on stage stuff, with their own stage playing, I look at the actors' their positions and stuff as I toggle the tracks, and do they match? That's what I'm looking for. One person, his hands are clasped together. If you look at it at another angle and they're not clasped together, then you don't have your sync right. Person may have their arms up and on one and arms down another. Those kinds of things. We're just looking for clues that do we have. If I keep the playhead at one point and I just toggle the tracks on and off, everybody should still be in the exact same position. I'm just looking at a different angle of them. That's what I'm looking for. So here's this guy standing up. Here we can't really see him very clearly. But the tracks that we do see him, is he in the exact same location and position and that kind of stuff, and it looks like he is. So I think we have synced all of our things, all our cameras here. Looks like. I'm going to then unhide them all. I'm going to remove these cuts that that I put in here. I'm just gonna extend out. Let's get these. I want a continuous video. Oh, that may be the end of that because that was the other files. We didn't import in the other file, which is fine. No, I do want that. Okay, I think that's it. I don't care about audio at this point. Audio, each camera has its own audio also, but I don't use them. By default, Premiere will mute all but the first track audio, which is fine. For my case, I don't use the audio on the cameras because we have our own microphones. Okay, now, what I'm going to do now is turn this into a multicam sequence. I'm not sure that's the right term. May not be the right term. It's going to be my project sequence. We have this timeline here. We have synced up all of our things. But now we're going to turn this into another version of this that doesn't have a track for each video. Anyway, we go right click here and new sequence from clip. Okay, so it just made, I always get confused which one is which. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Multicam. Okay, multicam. Okay, I usually just call this project. This is going to be the main area that we're going to work on. Now what it's done is it's just made one track in the first audio track, and this by default is camera 1. If you see right here, it's MC1. Here I can see that angle, and what we can do now, I can literally, like I have this highlight, I can press number 2 on my keyboard, and it goes to that camera angle. Now, these probably don't have anything there because the one camera is the first one that I turn on. Let's move it up a little bit. Let's get a little farther in. Okay, so we can see me standing there. So I'm going to press number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Do I have 0? I don't have 0. So 1, yeah, I can just literally just press those numbers. And I can switch between all the cameras. So that's cool. That's what we really want. That's the big thing I wanted to show. I need to start winding down. The next thing I'm probably going to do is to color. This has a little bit of a yellow tint. Has a lot of a yellow tint. I'm going to color. Try to get that color better. Otherwise it's going to bug me as I'm editing. Don't have to do it now, but I'm going to do it now. And then we're going to start doing the edits on the switching the camera angles and that kind of stuff. But that'll be for another night. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream everything that I do. I doubt it's highly unlikely I stream everything I'm going to do for this, but I might stream some things of editing. But that's the first step of getting the project set up. One of the first steps of getting the project set up and prepared for me to start working on. I would also maybe bring in the audio, and I would have to sync that up, but I'm done for the night. So another time. Okay, I hope this has been useful, and you take care, and I'm going to sign off now. All right, bye-bye, see you.